Good morning, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this. This is Tracy Brown, your somatic nutrition therapist and attuned eating expert. And so today's quick video is going to be around what I call this feeling of like the food keeps calling you. And this is more geared three different circumstances. So the food is like in your head, or it feels like it's calling you from here, or like beckoning you like this way. And there's a couple things about that. If you're not allowing enough food, or the food you want, you're going to feel like you can't get it out of your head. And that's just from restriction and deprivation. And if you think you shouldn't be eating it, regardless of the calorie amount you're taking in. If you think you shouldn't be eating a food, you're more likely to be thinking about it more. And it might be pulling towards you. And you might try to put the brakes on, or you might feel like you can't, regardless. But that's what that's mostly caused from. But there's also the circumstance, and I used to get so mad at myself when I would pick. I would pick at food, constantly picking at food. And a lot of it was the same reason I just talked about, not quite enough. Like, you know, I work with clients that like they're just like even 80, 90% of where they need to be in their total. And then they get mad at themselves for picking at around what they allowed themselves, and they're not allowing themselves to see, like, of course I'm picking at food. This is not emotional eating. I mean, it's emotional and I'm not letting myself have what I want, but it's not emotional eating that I'm picking at food in between just putting my plate on the counter to be washed. It's because I didn't get quite enough or satisfaction. So there's that kind of thing that feels like emotional eating. But what I really want to talk about today is that feeling of like, kind of, sometimes you have clarity, sometimes you don't, of like, I'm not hungry and I feel like I can't not eat. And we call it boredom. Some people call it out of control. They call it emotional eating. I want to propose to you that how much have you checked in with your body? Like literally your body sensations, not hunger and fullness. You should check in with that, of course. But like anything else in your system, like how's it feeling in your shoulders, your chest, other parts of your gut, other part of your body? How is the overall of you feeling, or what you're sensing? And what you might start to discover is like, I'm eating to like not feel that sensation, because I don't really feel all that sad right now. Sometimes it is like I am totally grieving, I'm really angry. But if you don't have any of that identified, we got to go back to like, okay, what's the body say? Because if you're eating and you're not for sure if you're hungry, you're pretty sure you're not hungry, and there's no deprivation going on, like this is purely like, I'm pretty sure I'm a good place here. It's not as simple as saying, well, I'm just bored of eating. I think there's a level of like, we kind of do build habits with some emotional eating, but I think for the most part, we really need to look at like what is happening in our system and what is happening situationally, and our body's safety level with whatever's happening situationally. And that's going to be enough to drive this need for safety. And if you use food to either settle yourself, ground yourself, feel like an internal snuggly blanket, or maybe even to punish yourself, to feel something different than what you're already feeling. Maybe you're not okay with feeling angry or the sensations that relate to anger, and you think that's bad, or you're going to get hurt, or something bad's going to happen. Sometimes people eat to pain to not feel that. And so this is just a little bit of a primer in it's okay. You're trying to do the best you can, but if you are feeling more ready to not have emotional eating as like your number one go-to for support, then I really encourage you to start with step one and start to notice what else is going on in your state. And then, you know, again, I don't make this video too long because I could go on for hours about this topic, but it's really important to recognize that there are other things you can do to ground your system, to get other needs met. And if you're feeling like you're in this kind of spin of like, okay, I know I'm emotional eating and I can't stop it and it's hopeless, you have to meet that hopeless or that dread. I know you've identified it, but if you abandon it, it just perpetuates it. So even if you're not working with somebody, which I highly recommend that you do, whether it's individually, in groups, whatever, but work with somebody who knows how to like help you untangle that and learn step one, how to meet those places in ourselves and not abandon them. So I hope this video is helpful. 2 announcements real quick. The registration for my When Women Stop Hating Their Bodies course ends Friday. So if you want to get into it, there's 3 more spots open if you're interested. There's a few more spots left. So if you want to get in and work solely on body image, we're going to start doing that next Tuesday on the 16th. So love to have you there. I'm already super excited for the folks who are in it, and we're ready to get to work. And if you're interested too, hop on in. I'll put a link below so you can check that out. And if you think anybody else would want to be part of that group, let them know about it as well, or share this video. And then lastly, for those of you who don't know, I do run, it's called something called Attuned Eating for Attuned Living, and it's basically, I call it recovery school. And I talk about all kinds of topics: restriction, binge eating, emotional eating, body image decoding, gentle nutrition, movement, nervous system regulation. I got lots of interviews with people we all love, like Reagan Chastain and Anna Guest Jelly's in it. I have an integrative functional medicine doctor in there. Some people you may know, some people you don't know, but there's all kinds of goodies in it. And I kind of changing the script on it a little bit in terms of like all the content's still there, but we're going to start meeting monthly for like a group coaching call, just so people can have more support. So those of you who are already in it, the fee's not going to go up. The fee's going to go up slightly, but not much, just a tiny bit, just to account for some of the time involved, but not very much. And if you've been looking for a really, really accessible way to get some high quality support, that's going on. So those of you who watch these who have forgotten, like, oh, I'm part of your course, I forgot, then get yourself in there. Make sure you're in the Facebook group. I'm over there doing more active these days and trying to like help you all remember that you have this space. Sometimes we forget the support we actually have. So anyway, I'm going to put the links for both of those things below if anybody's interested. And if you need to learn more, private message me. Let's set up some time to talk if you're interested. If not, please enjoy these videos, share them with people you know that could benefit as well. And let me know what's helpful. I love you all's emails too about like, hey, no rush, but can you talk about XYZ topic because that's confusing me, or I could use just a reminder about something, and I'm happy to do that. So email me your questions and we'll get them addressed here. So thank you all so much and take care.